Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and today I am back at it with another TikTok reaction video. So some of these have been sent to me, some of these I found on my own, and I was like, oh my goodness, I have to show the rest of the world on YouTube. Like always, I'm going to give my very honest opinion about these and kind of help spin this into more healthy, mature advice for all of you. So let's get started. Oh no. It said, when the guy I won't give a chance to stops trying, and then the song says, please don't be in love with someone else. I've talked about this a lot on my channel, and sadly, I think this is one of those scenarios when a guy is totally wasting his time. He's a fill-in guy. He's a guy that is just giving this girl attention and never getting anything back. And then when the guy stops trying, cuts off communication, the girl will reach out or text him or kind of breadcrumb him a little bit, which is kind of just keeping him at an arm's length to get what you want. And sadly, I wish this wasn't the case. I'm really not trying to hate on women when it comes to this, but I think we are so naturally just used to attention that when someone cuts off attention or stops giving it to us, we crave it. It becomes almost an addiction, and I'm trying to, I know you're not gonna like to hear that, but I'm being very honest as a woman who in the past, has gotten attention from men who, then they stop trying and you're like, oh, well, that was nice when they were talking to me all the time. And you might have no interest in the guy. You might not like him at all or ever want to be with him. But when he cuts off that attention, it's like a drug dealer cutting off a supply. I mean, it's sick. It's addicting. And I think a lot of these very beautiful girls are so used to getting this attention from men. And then it puts men in this really tough spot where they're like, okay, well, I tried and I went for it and I was giving her attention and she wasn't biting. She was leaving me on red. She would never hang out with me, just wanted to text me all the time for attention. And they're confused because they're getting all these mixed signals because the girl just likes attention, really. To give men and women advice in this situation, speaking from a woman who has been in this situation before, I would say you really have to look at the situation and not be malicious about it, right? You don't want to lead someone on or drag someone around just because you like the attention from them. And if you are so addicted to that attention, that's an issue. And you should be able to be, happy and fulfilled on your own and not need that attention from other people in order to feel good about yourself or to feel validated. So I would say really get to the root of that issue and be able to create that for yourself and not outsource your validation and happiness. You should just be able to create that for yourself. For men in this situation, I would say see things for what they are and not what you want them to be. I've done an entire video on how to tell when you're the attention fill-in guy, and most of the time it just looks like this girl wanting to text you all the time to get attention from you, but then never wants to follow through with plans or hang out with you. She flakes last minute, she cancels. It's very obvious when a girl is doing this to you. So is it okay? No. I think guys have to stop wasting their time and simping for girls who would not do crap for them and literally just want attention from them. And girls need to get used to not getting this validation from other people and creating that for yourself, because it's a slippery slope, it's a dangerous path to go down, and it is addicting. I love you, baby. It says, me every night now after I decided to give up on men and let them come to me instead of spending 3 hours getting ready and $200 on an outfit, hair, and makeup to be asked to split the check. Ooh, okay. I think a lot of you guys are not going to like to hear this. But if you like a girl and the date went well, I think you should pay for the bill. Even if the date maybe didn't go that well, I think, unless it was horrible and she was rude to you and like something bad happened, I do think it's still the mature and more gentleman-like thing to do to pay for the bill and not ask her to split it. I think if a guy asked me on a first date to split the check, I would just assume he doesn't like me. So if you like her, I think included in liking someone is courting her, pursuing her, taking her on dates. And if you want to avoid spending a ton of money on a date, just don't go on an expensive date, right? Meet for coffee, If she doesn't want to meet you for coffee, she's not the right girl for you. You really need to find someone who has an idea of success, values, and morals that align with yours. So if something as silly as a date, matters so much to her as to where you're going or how much you spend on her, maybe she's not the right girl for you, but she would be great with someone else, and that's okay. We all have different standards and preferences. I don't think our standards should be so based on how much money someone spends on you or materialistic kind of shallow things. But sadly, this is the world that we live in. So you can avoid women like that. You can go after women like that. Whatever you choose to do is up to you. But to get back to the video here, yeah, if you like a girl and you're pursuing her, you should pay for the first date, maybe the second date. Maybe she will offer to pay, and that's a great sign for you guys. That's a green flag if she offers or she's incredibly thankful and generous. I remember when me and my boyfriend went on our first date, he paid for brunch, and then we got like ice cream later in the day, and I paid for ice cream. It's all about a balance, and I think it's great if the girl offers, but I would take the bill on the first date. I think that says a lot about you. I think it makes you look mature, like a gentleman, and it's just really a good sign for the girl that you're into her, you care about it, and you want to pay for her. It's just the gentleman thing to do. You can be mad about that. You cannot be mad. You can find a girl who would be happy to split the bill with you, but I'm telling you, a lot of women wouldn't be, especially if they are more traditional and feminine, which is what a lot of you guys go for. A girl like that is not going to want to split the bill with you. I'm just being 100% transparent. I think that's all I need to say about that.
Reminder that how emotionally safe you feel with a man shows you how masculine he is. Treating women poorly is not masculinity. It's wounded little boy energy.
Ooh, yeah, that one's gonna sting, but it's true, guys. When a woman feels emotionally safe with a man, she is able to be her most feminine self. When I look back at past relationships I was in where the guy cheated on me, treated me like crap, made me pay for everything, I did not feel feminine. I was not the same Courtney that is sitting here today because I could not be my authentic feminine self. Now that I am in an emotionally secure relationship where I am respected, I am treated amazing, I'm able to be my most feminine self. And I still pay for things. It's not like I'm getting treated like a princess, waited on hand and foot, and I don't pay any bills. I pay for my own stuff, but I feel emotionally safe and secure. Men who treat women like crap and don't respect them, you're not going to have success with women or get women that you want to be with, because a confident, secure woman is not going to put up with you treating her like crap because she knows what she deserves. And it's the same way that all of you guys should know that. You should not be with a woman who treats you like crap and doesn't make you feel like your most masculine self. People joke about masculinity and femininity. There's this whole thing about toxic masculinity, and I think the way that we view those things has kind of shifted a little bit because I'm not even gonna get into this, you already know, but I do think femininity and masculinity and a healthy balance of both within a relationship is so important and crucial for something working out and being healthy long term. And I can say that based on my personal experience in relationships that did not have a healthy balance versus the one that I'm in now that has a perfect dynamic. And notice here that she said emotionally safe. She didn't say financially safe. It's not about even how much money a guy spends on you, because there are a ton of men out there that have all the money in the world but still treat women like crap and don't know how to have that emotional connection with a woman, and therefore are not with a feminine woman who, is probably what he wants at all. Masculine, healthy, confident men know what they want and know what they have to do to get it and keep it. Keep it, I think, is the part that a lot of guys have trouble with. And most of you guys that are watching, I don't even need to tell you this because I can tell you respect women by the comments you leave on my videos. Most of you are incredible, but there are those men out there that I think have a very hard time with this. And then they manipulate women and treat women poorly and create this vicious cycle of women hating men, and then women feel like they can't be feminine or let their guard down and they become more masculine. Men like this is why women become more masculine, because they feel like they have to. They feel like they can't trust you or rely on you or depend on you for anything because you've proven her otherwise. I could do a whole video about this. When you start dating the guy you told your ex not to worry about. Let's talk about the situation of when a girl tells you you don't need to worry about this guy. Number one, she could be being very honest and you genuinely don't need to worry about him. Maybe it's a friend that she's known her whole life. that she has no romantic interest in. Just speaking from personal experience, I have guy friends in my life that I am attracted to 0% in a romantic way. I would never date them. I would never look at them as anything more than a friend, and my boyfriend does not have to worry. Even if we broke up, I would never, because I see them as a brother, and that would be freaking weird. Secondly, there are men that, she might say, you don't need to worry about him, and then you break up and all of a sudden they're dating. And you're like, what the heck is going on? I thought that you were just friends, or I thought I didn't need to worry about him. And the difference here, I think, if she is constantly talking to a different guy while you're in a relationship, or she maybe had a fling with him before you guys were together, or she's like liking his Instagram photos while you guys are dating that maybe she shouldn't be liking, I think that he's a guy you should probably worry about. And honestly, actually, I don't even think you should worry, because if you feel like you have to worry about someone that your girlfriend is talking to, there's a lack of trust there and you shouldn't be with her. So I don't think anybody, men or women, should be worrying about anybody, because if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. There's nothing you can do to stop it. You can't control what your partner does. It's all about your relationship and the boundaries that you have in your relationship as well. So, it doesn't seem like she cheated on her boyfriend. She just ended up being with that guy after they broke up. So is that fair game? Yeah, it kind of is, because she didn't cheat. Well, she's not telling everyone on TikTok she cheated. Maybe she did, I don't know. But I think, sometimes that just happens. Someone, you're dating someone, you break up, and you end up dating that other person. That's kind of normal. What's not normal is giving other people besides your girlfriend or boyfriend validation and attention. So if this is going on while you're dating, I would say that's a problem. But if you break up, there's really nothing you can do about it. But I just thought this was an interesting topic, because I see a lot of guys talk about on YouTube, on TikTok, the fact that, men and women can't be friends. And I think men have a harder time being just friends with women than women have being just friends with men. Does that make sense?
Here's some advice from a guy's perspective. If he can't let other women know that he's not serious about you. And if he looks and behaves like he's still single, then he's still looking.
Ooh, this one is interesting and incredibly true, and I would say the same thing about women. If you're in a relationship, I think it's very normal to have some evidence online, right? That the two of you are together. I'm not saying that you need to post them all the time. I like to keep my relationship incredibly private. I don't like to post a lot online. My life is very public, and that is one area of my life that is very special and important to me, and I like to keep private. So you will not go to my Instagram and see a ton of photos of me and my boyfriend on my story, because I like that part of my life to be private with him. And the same goes for him. His Instagram is all about his business, and he rarely posts me. When he does, he gets the most likes, I'll say that. But I understand that people want to keep things private, because I am that way too. There's a difference though between wanting to keep things private and then wanting to seem like you're single, right? So if you've been dating this guy or girl for a year and there's no evidence anywhere that you guys are dating, maybe you're not official on Facebook, maybe there's no photos of you, maybe no one would even know that you're dating, is it because that other person wants to seem single to people that might be better than you? I don't know. Something to think about. But also, what's funny is there are also guys who post their girlfriend all the time and are acting single. So does it really have that much correlation? I've seen both happen. So I think it really depends on kind of your dynamic and, how public you want to make your relationship. But it doesn't stop guys or girls from cheating. And honestly, sometimes what's funny is the people who post about their relationship the most often have the worst relationship, because they feel like they have to overcompensate by posting all the time. For example, in one of my relationships, this guy was awful. I'm telling you, cheated on me, was the worst. And anytime we would get in a fight, he would try to win me over or make me feel better by posting photos of us on Instagram. And it was like, you are acting like everything is fine posting about me, but we are not okay. And sometimes they use that as a way to justify their actions, or again, like I said, overcompensate. So who knows? Let me know what you guys think about that one. But I think if you're in a relationship, there should at least be some evidence that you're in a relationship, right? You don't have to post all the time. Just, don't act single.
If you date men, this is going to hurt to hear, but I have some controversial advice. We need to let our height preferences go.
Yep. So she said, we need to let our height preferences go. And to that, I would strongly agree. Does it really matter? At the end of the day, I know it's a preference. I know we're all allowed to have preferences. I mean, seriously, if the perfect man was standing in front of a girl, he was everything she wanted. Handsome, successful, compassionate, kind, respectful. They had a great connection, and she would write him off because he's not 6 foot. How silly is that? Over height. It's just so shallow. And I know we're all allowed to have preferences. That's just how life is. We are allowed to have preferences. You guys are allowed to have preferences the same way women are allowed to have preferences. But height is one of those things that is just so silly to me because it's something that that other person can't change about themselves, right? If a guy has, preferences about a woman's weight, that makes a little more sense to me because that reflects your lifestyle often, and you can change that about yourself, technically. For the most part, I would say 98% of the time. Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of women who have very unrealistic preferences when it comes to height. Like they are 5'2", but still want a guy that's 6'5", and it's like, why? You're 5'2". I think as long as he is your height or taller than you, I wouldn't personally care. I've never dated anybody shorter than me. I have dated someone the same height as me, and I had no issue with it. I didn't care at all. He also didn't treat me well, so that's what I should have been concerned about, but yeah, I think the height preferences are crazy. And then girls get so mad when guys have preferences about, physical appearance. And if you're a short guy out there, there's nothing that you can do. All you can do is be yourself, be confident, and there will be a girl out there that appreciates you regardless of how tall you are. So silly. I'm glad she said that, because I agree. Okay, this says, a lot of women aren't having sex with their male partners because the only time they're giving us physical intimacy is with an end goal in mind. Responding in the beginning feels like signing a contract for the end. Let's talk about this because I think it's very important, and I think a lot of men don't know this about women. If you want your partner to be intimate with you more often, you have to show physical intimacy to her that is not just based around sex. Women are a little bit more emotional, right? We like hugs, kisses, cuddles, and I know a lot of you men like those things too. But if the only time you are physical with me or touch me or, show any sort of physical intimacy with me is when you want to get me in bed, I am not going to respond well to that because I feel like that's all you want me for, right? I think that's how a lot of women feel. And I think there's a lot of men that have trouble showing physical intimacy unless there is that end goal in mind. And look, I know men have needs that need met as well, and that's something you have to work out with your partner and figure out, kind of the dynamic there and what works for you, because every relationship is different. Sex is much more important in some relationships than others. I think men typically have a much higher sex drive than women do, and I think that's why this is so difficult for them, because they're unable to, do those other physical things without also wanting sex in the end, right? I'm not telling you this as a way for you to manipulate someone into wanting to have sex with you more. I'm telling you this as a woman who knows how we work. You need to show some physical intimacy outside of the bedroom. Unless she has straight up told you, don't touch me, which if you're dating her, I imagine she hasn't told you that. But yeah, you really need to show the physical intimacy outside of the bedroom, and I guarantee you she'll feel more appreciated and loved and like you want to be physical with her in a way that is not just benefiting you. If you're a woman watching this, I would love to hear your perspective. And men, if you've ever been in a situation like this, please share down below. I've also seen a lot of women talk about the fact that when a woman feels like she can't be feminine and she's doing all these masculine tasks, she's taking care of everything, she's paying for everything, she is running the house, taking the lead on everything, she feels like a mom to her husband and therefore feels like she can't be intimate with him or doesn't want to be intimate with him because she feels like his mom. So guys, make sure you're picking up your end of the deal too. Don't let your wife or your partner do everything for you. You know what turns women on? Men doing the dishes, men playing with babies, men vacuuming, because it's so rare to see. And it's sexy to see a man who can take care of things and take care of himself and be masculine. That's a whole different video. I could do an entire video about that. And I'm really not trying to bash on guys. I'm really just trying to paint the picture for you from a woman's perspective. I think that's the point of my channel, is to tell you things from a woman's perspective, from my experience, from my friends' experiences, from being a woman. I can share things that you might not know. And if you're constantly getting advice from guys, they might not know either. Alright guys, that is all I have for reacting to some TikToks today. These were a little bit different than the TikToks that I normally react to, and I think it was a nice little change of pace. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Always love to get a conversation going, a healthy and constructive conversation, right? We don't want to bash anybody. These videos are not to put anybody down or make anybody feel bad. It's just kind of to highlight some of the issues with modern dating today and things that we as men and women can be doing better to make our lives more fulfilled, more healthy, more happy, all of that good stuff. So if you haven't already, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I love connecting with all of you guys on there as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.